Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mark from Solar Games, and today we're going to talk about my concerns with Phyrexia All Is One. Look, from the way that the set is presented, from the way the story is kind of developing, from the nostalgia factor, dude, Phyrexia All Is One is going to be a great set. Look, I'm not saying the cards are bad. Elish Norn is really good. It's a great card. Okay, it blocks like crazy, harmonica effects. Everything about it is awesome. I have no doubt that the draft environment, this limited environment, the cards that are added to standard, no one in place standards, but standard, pioneer, modern, etc., are going to be great, and I think it's going to be good for the game. It's going to be good for like the story element of whatever pieces of it has, and I'm excited about those things. However, I think one of the challenges and pieces where I'm just really afraid of is I think I want to be clear, right? I'm not hating on future sets of Magic because I think they're poorly designed or not creative or something's wrong with the R&D department. Now, the only thing I would say on that is, look, I do think they need to spend more time balancing the cards, making sure it doesn't break Legacy, making sure it doesn't break Commander. But realistically, I mean, look, they have to break those formats because the more they break those formats, the more cards they sell. They know this, we know this, I know this, everyone knows this, right? They can't talk about it, but they're going to do that. So in some ways, like Companions, was it really a mistake? I'm not sure. Maybe they intentionally did it because they did want to kind of like bring Commander into everything. But now we have it, right? So you can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's not going to happen. So, right. But aside from that, my biggest concern, and I've had a couple days to really reflect on the whole, product launch, whatever, early preview video last week, and really thinking about it more. I think my core problem is this continual expansion of product lines and variety of cards. Look, I read a lot of comments from my last video. I know a lot of people out there that you guys do care about the special variations and different frames for different cards, etc. But I think one of the challenges that you're not understanding about what the problem with having so many versions is that essentially, like, all the different versions is going to confuse the shit out of people. And when everybody has a different version of the card, there's no consensus of what Magic is. I mean, the whole idea is that the artwork, right, is supposed to kind of give you a good hint of what the card is and what it's going to do. That card is scary looking. That card is not. Like, I don't have to read the card because I will recognize it and it speeds up the game. If the artwork doesn't do that for you, if there's so many variations that people will have to read every card because they don't recognize the card, it slows down the game. It also just confuses everyone, right? Like when you open a pack of cards, how do you know if a card is rare or not? How do you know if my variation, my version, my foiling is the right foiling to be expensive, rare, or collectible, or is it something that's not worth anything? I mean, you have a lot of people who don't open a lot of packs, will open packs and be like, oh, this thing looks special. And they scan it, it's like 12 cents, right? And it does lose a lot of that collectability for those players. Look, no matter how much we want the card game to go to zero, this is still a collectible card game. And the packs do cost money. And so one of the things you hate the most is if you open a pack that costs you $5 and you get 12 cents out of it. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. And having so many versions has no consensus on the actual, like, what is the right proper image and what's the artwork. I mean, there's a sense of chase to say, hey, this is, Shieldred, this is Elish Norn, this is, Jintaxes, etc. That part is just really missing from Magic now. Like, when you saw a picture of like Black Lotus, it's a Lotus because there's only one picture of it, the one from Chris Rush. It's amazing, right? If you look at like Sliver Queen, these kind of cards are super iconic because there was just one image. If you saw it right away, you knew it's Sliver Queen, right? With Elish Norn, I guarantee you, going in the future, people are not going to recognize, oh, that's the Elish Norn. And there's already multiple Elish Norns, so this is going to be the second one. And they're not going to recognize right away, that's the one that does the harmonica effect, blah, 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 right? That's not good for the game. Really, it slows it down, it's confusing, it makes players feel disappointed when things happen. Now, I'm sure our Elsinore is going to be fine. The price of it is going to be fine on the secondary market. It's a strong card. But with all the different versions, it just confuses the shit out of everyone. And that's not really even like the biggest problem. I guess like if you're opening very few packs, it's not a big deal. If you're a store, it's very frustrating because look, stores are already making like, I don't know, 30 plus piles. I have this like BCW card sorter whenever I go and mass box open. And I can tell you, opening set boosters, I fill every single one of those slots and more. I can't even like, I think there's, let's see. Yeah, there's like 30 slots on that thing and they're all full. And I still cannot, that still does not account for every single possible variation of anything. Yeah, it's a nightmare to go and sort cards from the current like phase of Magic. Number 2 problem I have is really around this idea of like expansion of more product lines. It sucks. Here's why. In the beginning, it was super simple. You go out there, if Phyrexia All-as-One is released, you buy the one box, had everything you need. You didn't have this FOMO of like, well, that other variation has this card I want or a card variation and I can get it in this set. Now we have like the list exclusive to set boosters, the art cards exclusive to set boosters, commander cards that are in the commander decks, but some of them are exclusive to set and the collector's editions. You got this special foiling this and that are different in different products and whatever. And this product spread is just getting wider and wider. And it's causing more and more people to not know what to buy, what they are buying, that the fact that what they bought can't be used to play, what they bought, for example, aren't going to give them the best cards. It's really confusing. In fact, it's super confusing. Even if you go to any store today, ask them, like, what's inside a set booster? Half the time, I've been to stores, I'll just randomly ask them. They're wrong. The store clerks, they don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm mass box opening. I know exactly what's in what set, but they don't know that. I mean, how many of them know that Streets of New Capenna has a shorter list slot that has only like 60 cards? They're all rares and they're all good cards, right? But also heavily focused on the secret layer, like reprints. How many of them know that? How many of them know what's on the list for every single like set? They don't. Of course, you don't know. This is huge, 300 cards, and you rarely see any of them, right? You see the common ones. You don't see the really crazy rare ones. That's the issue. If the stores can't sell your product, how can you move the product at all? And every single set, they change this. The set boosters aren't always consistent. Some of them have like 3 of one slot. Some of them have this slot. Some of them has like some exclusive, not part of the draft, but part of standard, cards. It's confusing as hell. And it's going to get worse, right? And that just, it kind of like irks me that we keep doing this expansion of product lines. Like now, I mean, before we had just, okay, so now we've settled on draft, set, collector's boosters. You got your bundle, you got your pre-release kits. Those are mainline products that people care about. That's it, right? Okay, but now it seems like we have a completed edition of the gift bundle. Does that mean we're going to have some special, like, I don't know, the motorized edition for the March of the Machines? Like, is the gift bundle going to be part of every single set going forward? Because again, it's just more product lines means more revenue. That really irks me. So my issue really is just that, like, I think the set's fine. I think the set's probably going to be fun to play with, probably very creative. But I just think like we don't need so many variations of everything. I'm still a firm believer that if you make everything special, nothing is. And what happens over time is if everything is, this way, that way, whatever, you get desensitized to anything. Like half the time now, people open up full art, they don't care, they throw it away. Does WotC really want full art cards that look special, that looks unique to be in a bulk binder? Because they're getting there. That's where we're pushing everything to. That's not good. It's not good for your branding. It's not good for your IP. It makes it basically the only thing that people will care about is some other next level, like chase card, next level foiling, next level rarity. And there's a point you get to where people just get exhausted. I mean, how many different foils do we need every set? That's new, that's unique. Before people just say, you know what, I don't care anymore. I don't care if there's another foil. Just leave it as is. Anyways, that's what I have to say about Phyrexia All-as-One. Solar Games, peace out.